The thick cream envelope trembled in my hands as I read the words again. Full academic scholarship. My legs gave out, and I sank to the floor of our suburban kitchen, tears of joy streaming down my face. Harvard. I'd actually done it. My name is Mallory, and that moment was supposed to be the beginning of everything I'd worked for. Straight A's since elementary school, perfect SAT scores, debate team captain, volunteer work, all of it leading to this golden ticket. Family meeting! Dad's voice boomed from the living room, shattering my private celebration. I quickly wiped my eyes and tucked the letter into my back pocket. Mom sat perched on the edge of the sofa, practically vibrating with excitement. Eric, my older brother, slouched in Dad's leather recliner, wearing his signature half smile. Your brother got accepted to Northwestern's pre-med program, Dad announced, clapping Eric on the shoulder. That's that's wonderful, I managed, my own letter burning against my skin. There's just one small issue, Mom interjected, her French manicured hands clasped tightly. The tuition is substantial and with no scholarships. We've decided to liquidate your college fund, Dad stated flatly. Eric's education needs to be our priority. He'll be a doctor. He can take care of all of us someday. But I pulled out my acceptance letter, hands shaking. I got into Harvard. Full ride. Mom barely glanced at it. Oh, honey, you're smart. You'll figure something out. But this is about family. You understand, right? I nodded mechanically, feeling something inside me crack and splinter. That night, I lay in bed clutching my phone, staring at the draft email to Harvard's admissions office. One click would end everything. In the next room, I could hear them still celebrating Eric's future. I pressed send. 2 years later, I stood in my polyester graduation gown, scanning the crowd at the community college ceremony. Empty seats where my parents should have been. My phone buzzed, another Instagram notification. So proud of our future doctor. Med school, show proud parents. Mom's post showed Eric grinning in his white coat, Dad's arm around his shoulder, 300 likes already. They're not coming, are they? Louisa, my roommate, squeezed my hand. Had to help Eric move into his new apartment, I replied, my voice flat. Mom said they'd make it up to me with dinner sometime. After the ceremony, I trudged up to our cramped apartment, still in my gown. A certified letter waited in our mailbox. Your grandmother Sylvia passed 2 weeks ago, the lawyer explained over the phone. She left specific instructions for you. I remembered Grandma's knowing looks during family gatherings, how she'd squeeze my shoulder when Mom and Dad fawned over Eric's C-plus grades while ignoring my academic awards. The envelope contained a check for $20,000 and a handwritten note for the one who gets nothing. My hands trembled as I unfolded the letter. My dearest Mallory, I've watched them dim your light year after year, but I see you. Turn pain into power. No one notices the quiet ones until it's too late. This money isn't charity, it's ammunition. Use it wisely. Louisa found me crying on our threadbare couch. Hey, you okay? I wiped my eyes, something cold and determined settling in my chest. I will be. I'm done being invisible. What are you going to do? I carefully folded the note. Whatever it takes. You're making a mistake, Quincy said, sliding my business proposal back across his polished desk. This plan is too conservative. You're thinking small. I straightened my second-hand blazer. It's all I can afford to lose. No, he leaned forward. It's all you think you deserve to win. Tell me again why you're working 2 retail jobs with a mind like yours. I stayed silent. Double your investment projection. I'll mentor you personally. He smiled. Something tells me you got fire in your belly. Over the next year, I built my life in careful compartments. By day, I folded sweaters and rang up coffee orders. By night, I worked remotely for Quincy's firm, learning to turn thousands into tens of thousands. My phone buzzed constantly with family messages I never answered. Honey, Eric made the dean's list. Your brother's girlfriend is just perfect. Why don't you ever come to family dinner anymore? Only Aunt Genesis seemed to notice something was off. Her texts were different. Are you okay? Really okay. I was scheduling a meeting with potential investors when the gold embossed envelope arrived. Inside was an invitation to Eric's graduation party. We've rented the grand ballroom, Mom gushed over voicemail. Your father and I took out a second mortgage, but Eric deserves the best. You'll come, won't you? I called Quincy immediately. I need to know everything about mortgage acquisitions. That's unexpected. Why? I stared at the invitation, my voice steady. Because I want to buy my parents' debt. The line went quiet. Then, now that's the kind of ambition I've been waiting for. Congratulations, the bank representative said. The mortgage transfer is complete. You now own the property at 1542 Maple Drive. I hung up and stared at my laptop screen, at the photos of my childhood home. They'd added a sunroom since I'd left, probably for Eric's study space. The garden Mom had always said was too expensive to maintain now bloomed with roses. My phone lit up. Genesis again. Saw the house on Facebook. They're throwing quite the party for Eric. Are you really not coming? I texted back, I'll be there. That evening I parked across the street from my old house. The porch light cast a warm glow through new windows, and I could see Mom setting the dinner table through gauzy curtains. 4 places, not 5. Never 5 anymore. You sure about this? Louisa's voice crackled through my earbuds. Once you start, there's no going back. A figure passed the window. Eric in his white coat, probably just home from rotation. Mom hugged him. Dad appeared with what looked like champagne. They remortgaged their future for his party, I said. $25,000 to celebrate the son who got everything, my voice caught. While I worked night shifts to afford community college. Mallory, my phone buzzed, Mom calling. After 3 years of screening her calls, I answered. Sweetheart, finally. We need to know if you're coming to Eric's graduation party. Kennedy's parents are asking about the final head count. I watched them through the window, happy in their perfect world. Don't worry, Mom. I wouldn't miss it for anything. It needs to be perfect, I said, watching Louisa wrap the thick manila envelope in silver paper. Beautiful enough that everyone will watch him open it. The bow's real silk. She tied it with precision. Cost more than my first car. Speaking of which, she nodded toward the garment bag hanging on my closet door. That dress could pay my rent for 3 months. I slipped into the black designer dress, checking my reflection. Gone was the shabby college student they'd dismissed. In her place stood someone else entirely. The venue posted photos, Louisa called from my laptop. Crystal chandeliers, champagne fountain, ice sculptures. Your parents really went all out. They always do, for him. I picked up my phone, scrolling through my contact list. Time to ensure we have an audience. One by one, I texted our extended family. Come early. There's something you need to see. My phone rang. Genesis. I got your text, she said. What's really going on, Mallory? Just making sure everyone's there for Eric's big moment. Don't lie to me. I've watched you disappear for 3 years. Now this cryptic message. I touched the gift box, feeling the legal documents inside. You were the only one who noticed, when they pushed me aside. Mallory, Just be there, Genesis. Watch carefully. After hanging up, I checked my email one last time. The eviction notice was ready to be filed first thing Monday morning. In 48 hours, my parents' perfect world would shatter. Ready? Louisa asked softly. I picked up the beautiful box containing their destruction. I've been ready for 3 years. The grand ballroom sparkled like a fairy tale. Mom had outdone herself. Ice sculptures of medical caduceus symbols, champagne towers, and string quartet playing in the corner. My heels clicked against marble as I entered. Mallory? Mom's voice cracked with surprise. You look different. Successful? I smiled, watching her struggle to process my transformation. Amazing what hard work can do. She recovered quickly, practiced smile back in place. Eric, look who's here. My brother turned from his crowd of admirers, Kennedy hanging on his arm. His white medical coat gleamed under the chandeliers. Little sis. He moved to hug me. I stepped back, extending the silver gift box instead. Wouldn't miss this for the world. Dad appeared, champagne in hand. You made it. We weren't sure. Open it, I said to Eric. Everyone should see this. The room quieted as he pulled the silver ribbon. Genesis caught my eye from across the room, her expression wary. Kennedy leaned in, perfectly manicured hands clutching Eric's arm. What is it, honey? She asked. The legal documents spilled out, mortgage papers, deed transfers, bank statements. My brother's confused expression shifted to understanding, then horror. I don't, he stammered. Mom snatched the papers. Her face went ash white. This is our house. How did you... Your mortgage? I took a champagne flute from a passing waiter. I own it now, just like you owned my future. Dad grabbed the documents. This isn't possible. You couldn't afford. Funny thing about being invisible, I said, my voice carrying across the silent room. No one notices while you're building an empire. Let me tell everyone a story, I announced, my voice steady, about a girl who earned a full scholarship to Harvard. Mallory, don't. Mom stepped forward, but Genesis caught her arm. Let her speak, my aunt said firmly. This girl's parents took her college fund, every penny she'd earned tutoring and babysitting since she was 14, and gave it to her brother, because he was the investment. The future. I locked eyes with Eric. Remember that family meeting? Kennedy's hand dropped from his arm. You had a full ride to Harvard? But that's not even the best part, I continued. While Golden Boy here partied through med school, I worked 2 jobs, night shifts, community college, and not once, did they come to a single graduation. We had to help Eric move, Dad started, into his luxury apartment, I cut in. The one you furnished while I slept on a second-hand futon. The one you paid for while I ate ramen for dinner, but karma's funny that way. I raised my glass. To Eric, the family investment. Hope you're ready to support them, little brother, because as of Monday they're being evicted. The room erupted. Kennedy backed away from Eric, shaking her head. Relatives whispered furiously. Mom sank into a chair, mascara running. You can't do this, Dad growled. Actually, I can, and I did. With the same ruthlessness you showed when you stole my future. I set down my untouched champagne. The house is mine, and unlike you, I won't pretend it's for anyone's good but my own. Genesis stepped forward, voice ringing out. They deserved every bit of this. The perfect party dissolved into chaos around us. The morning sun streamed through my office window as I signed the final rental agreement. The family moving into my parents' house seemed nice, a young couple with twins starting kindergarten. My phone buzzed. A text from Kennedy. Wedding's off. I can't marry someone who let his sister lose everything while he took it all. I'm sorry for not seeing it sooner. I closed the message without responding. Another notification popped up. Eric had deleted his Instagram account. The last post I'd seen was Mom's perfect family photo from the party, the one I'd been cropped out of. Your car's here, my assistant announced. Louisa's waiting downstairs. Thanks, I just need a minute. Genesis had emailed earlier. They're staying with me until they find a place. Eric's residency barely covers his own rent. Funny how karma works. A knock at my door. Louisa entered dressed for our vacation. Still thinking about them? She asked. No. I stood smoothing my dress. I'm thinking about Grandma Sylvia. How she knew exactly what I needed. Not just the money, but permission to stop forgiving. Do you regret it? I picked up my bag, taking one last look at the view from my corner office. They wanted me to disappear, so I did. I disappeared and built an empire they never saw coming. And now? Now I'm visible, and that's what hurts them most. I turned off the lights. Let's go. Bali awaits. The door clicked shut behind us with a sound of finality, like the period at the end of a very long sentence.